Ladies and gentlemen, thank you for joining us at the Smart Investment and International Property Expo 2008. Our first speaker of the day will be talking on the Singapore property track, Mr. Dennis Ng, who is the Director of HousingLoanSG.com, will be talking on strategies to refinance your housing loan wisely. Please help me give a very warm welcome to Mr. Dennis Ng.
Good afternoon. Good afternoon. Welcome to the Smart Property Expo. Yeah, before we begin, I'd just like to say, our talks by myself is typically very interactive. So when I ask a question, I want you to respond. You can shout yes, raise your hand, and so forth. Can we have that cooperation? Yes. Come on, Singaporeans, you can do better than that. Yes. One more time, Yes. Okay, yeah, let's begin. How many of you are interested to make a lot of money? Ooh, there are people who are not interested. How many of you are interested to learn how to use housing loans to make a lot of money? How many of you will not raise your hand no matter what I ask? You can raise your hand now. I guess there are quite a lot in that category, because I'll be spending the next half an hour with you. So can I share with you a little bit about myself? Thank you. Yeah, so that is me. About the same, right? Yeah, okay. Basically, I graduated from accountancy back in 1993. Thereafter, I actually worked in the bank for 7 years. So actually, in the last 8 years, I've been on my own. Of course, sometimes you will see some of my comments in the Straits Times today, The Age, Lian Zhaobao. On Monday morning, I'll appear on Capital Radio 95.8 at 9:30 a.m. I'm also the only person in Singapore with a radio talk show, not for 1 week, not for 2 weeks, but for 2 years. Okay, first I'd like to share this concept with you. Unlike some speakers will only share with you the upside, I will actually share with you both the upside and the downside. So basically, that is a double-edged sword. What do we mean by that? It's just like a boomerang, This is the logo of my company. It can actually work for you, but if you do not know how to use it wisely, it can actually work against you. So what should we do? Some people say, simple, just avoid that. Is that the right answer? No. For instance, is knife dangerous? Correct? Knife is dangerous. But you should learn how to use it wisely. So today I'll teach you how to use it wisely. So is borrowing good or bad? How many of you think that borrowing is bad? Raise your hand. Wow, how many of you think that borrowing is good? Raise your hand. Wow, there's still a big category of people who will not raise their hands. Okay, I think we will try better next time. So actually, in my opinion, borrowing is bad if you are borrowing bad debt. So what do I mean by bad debt? Bad debt is actually any loan where you cannot recoup the interest you pay on the loan. So what are some of these examples? Examples will be any debt on consumption. Yeah, if you take a loan for credit cards, for consumables, even for car loan, because car is a depreciating asset, correct? The value actually drops, it doesn't go up. So what are some of the examples of bad debt? So for bad debt, what should you do? Come on. Okay, say the word all together. Avoid. Bad debt, what should you do? Avoid. Yes, avoid them totally. And if you have any of these bad debt, please pay them up as soon as possible. What are some of the examples? The $1 down bill from Courts, Harvey Norman, right? They say that, go Harvey, go, go Harvey, go. And pay $1, pay the rest over 48 months of installment. Borrow money to go for tours, Or some people even use a credit card to borrow. To maybe even play stocks and so forth. All these are all bad debt. So, or you use credit card to roll over things that you cannot afford to buy. And Easy Cash by GE Money. Come on, of course it's easy because the interest rate is very high, 18%. So there is also good debt. there are not many good debts. Two examples are actually. So let me define what is good debt first. Good debt is any loans whereby the returns you get can be more than the cost, the interest you pay. So two common examples would be housing loans and business loans. So how many of you are in business? Few, right? So for the rest of you, the good debt that you can have access to is housing loans. Almost everyone can have that. So let me show you what the rich do. How many of you know who is Genting International? Genting International. Yeah, you know, right? So of course we won the IR project, correct? On Sentosa. The total cost is how much? $6 billion. So what did they do? They sell away their casino in Genting. They sell away the Star Cruise ships, raise a lot of cash, and pay for the resort. Is that what they did? No. What did they do? They actually borrow loans. How much? They borrow as much as $4 billion, 2/3 of the total cost. So you need to ask yourself, if this is what the rich is doing, and you are not doing it, something is wrong. If you want to get rich, who should you learn from? You need to learn from the rich. That's right, follow the rich. So I'll share with you. So why aren't they using their own money? Because actually taking loans can increase your returns. So let me give you an example. There are two individuals. One is Mr. A, one is Mr. B. Mr. A is very conservative. He believes that he should not take any loan. So Mr. A and Mr. B both have $1 million. Mr. A decided to put down $1 million and approach one of the exhibitors, bought a $1 million properties. As a result, he doesn't have any loan, correct? He doesn't need to pay any interest. So let's say sometime later, he managed to sell the property for $1.2 million. So how much profit did he make? He made simple subtraction, right? He made $200,000. But in terms of return on capital, how much was his return on capital? The problem is, he invested $1 million. He only made $200,000. So his return on capital is only 20%. So let's come to Mr. B. Mr. B is wiser, no? Because he actually attended my talk 6 months ago in March, and he decided to take a housing loan. So he put down $200,000 down payment, and the rest, 80% he borrowed. So of course Mr. A said, "Aiya, Mr. B, you're stupid. Why you pay interest? You have money, right? You see, you have to pay $50,000 interest. I can tell you this $50,000 interest, actually I overestimated it. Because if you, for over 2 years, the interest probably is only about $35,000. Let's say he paid $50,000 interest. His net profit will be reduced by $15,000, right? He made $150,000. But what's his return on capital? 150 divided by 200 is 75%. So you say, well, this is when prices go up, right? Can't prices go down? Sure, let's take a look when prices go down.